Good afternoon, everybody. So here I am in the garage. First real session, as I described on the last episode, moving into this new block of training where I'm kind of bringing in a bit more intensity, a bit more focus to build up the strength more, just to bring the fitness on, tease it along, shall we say. So I'm doing a Zwift session. First time I'm doing a structured workout on erg mode. I'll explain what that is if people aren't sure. But I was tempted to do a Zwift race because I just enjoy Zwift racing. But the risk with Zwift racing is you just get sucked into a flat out effort, and you're hanging on for grim death and you're dying. It depends what kind of race you get into. It's an unknown, really, I guess. So I'm doing a Zwift workout on the erg mode. Aero drills it's called. So it's short 2-minute efforts, looking around sweet spot effort. So I'll set my FTP at 230 watts, which doesn't sound much. I've been far higher, but when I look back what I raced in the 25-mile time trial in August, where I did 57 minutes something, around 57.5 I think, my average power was 230 watts. So yeah, take that as a baseline. In fact, I was probably fitter then than I am now on the bike. So yeah, I'll just use that. So Zwift will calculate my power levels to hit. I think it's around 195, 200 watts as sweet spot, whereas most sweet spot work I've done in the past, I'm around 225 watts. Not that it makes much difference, but for the fitness I'm at now, I think this is a good start. See how it feels, that's the main thing. Once I've finished it, I'll report back, because I think I'm on the warm-up now. I might do a little clip halfway through, just letting you know how I'm feeling, but I might not be able to talk quite as coherently as I am now. Hopefully it won't feel too bad. I'll give you an indication of what sort of fitness level I'm at on the bike. So I'm looking forward to that. Just warming up now, cruising along in the desert while it's a bit cold and miserable outside. I will do all the efforts in the aero position, which is nice and replicates my race bike aero position really well. So that's really good to get dialed into that position, ready to race and feel comfortable. So that's how it goes. Catch up with you in a while. Right, halfway through the session. It's looking okay, feels okay. Just kind of tickling the edge of burn. Heart rate's creeping up each set, so it's 2 minutes at 195 watts, 1 minute at 115. I'm covering really quickly in the 115, heart rate coming below 120. But it is creeping up a bit now, just over 130, so that's quite easy really. I normally, if I'm racing, I've done like 90 minutes at 150, 160 heart rate. Expect it to creep up over time. Just one aspect, here we go, is a 2 minute coming up. One aspect I did want to bring out is, if I can still talk through this one, when you're in the aero position, don't relax too much. Yeah, you want to be fluid and relaxed, but as you lock in, pull up slightly with the forearms, and you feel a lot more locked in. Enable you to get into that position, pull up slightly, and that's really key in a balanced power output. Works really well for me. So I feel like I'm cruising now. If I relax, I don't know, it just feels like I'm not quite as connected to the bike, when that's really important for a fluid ride when you've got to hold it for like an hour. So doing it now in these short chunks, locked in, is a really good way to progress to solid state, longer periods, locked into that bike position. So we'll see how we go. I did notice on this session, although I'm halfway through now, after you've done the 12 sets of 2 minutes with 1 minute recovery in between, there's a 5 minute 205 watts. So it's like a cheeky end to the session. slightly more power than what you've just done. So when you're the most fatigued, you're going to push it out slightly more. So this is probably really good level introduction for me as the next phase for this 2-month cycle of building up strength. So I'm not going flat out, I'm not stressing the system too much, but I am bringing it on from what I've done the previous 2 months, getting the body primed, ready for the real meaty hard stuff. So that's all good. So heart rate's chatting away is boosted a bit too much here. I haven't got the breathing going. That shows how important breathing is because I'm chatting. It's up to 139, so it's about 5-8 beats more than the other sets. Let's see how it goes. I'll check in at the end. On to 1 minute recovery now, get my breath back. So all good. Let's see how it goes. Catch you in a little while. Right then guys, session continues. I'm on the last 2-minute effort at the moment, which is 195 watts, which works out at 3.2 watts per kilogram. So this will be the last one, then some recovery, and then a 5-minute effort at 205 watts, which will be around 3.4 watts per kilo for me. So it's not too bad, feeling good, slight burn in the legs, which is just what I wanted. Maintaining technique, keeping tucked in, slight lift on the arms as I mentioned, but nothing major to tense, but enough to get locked in, which is great. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So let's see how the 5-minute last effort goes. And yeah, some heart rate creep coming in, but maintaining around 138 as a max in these 2-minute efforts. So catch up in a minute. Okay, so last recovery, now going into the 5-minute block of this whole session at 205 watts. Let's see what that works out at watts per kilo. Here we go. Yeah, about 3.4, 3.3 is what I thought. So I only got to do 5 minutes of this, session done. So I think I've hit the right balance. Definitely feel like it's not doing too much too soon, but it's doing enough to build. I'm really pleased with that. So let's see when my heart rate creeps up. Had some heart rate creep throughout the session, which is to be expected, but overall it's pretty low. So sign of good fitness at this stage. So I'll stop chatting now or it'll spike again. And I'll check in near the end and see whether I can still talk. Catch up soon. So here we are. That went quite quickly. Quite enjoyed it, apart from being on the jungle circuit. The dirt roads, I know they're not real, but it just feels like you're riding in treacle. It's amazing how mentally the brain plays tricks with you. 20 seconds to go. I'm still talking. Heart rate crept up to about 142. So that's okay. It's spiking now, mind, because I'm talking. So as I said, important to getting a good breathing rhythm is really, really, really credible. And boom, recovery. Pleased with that. Sprint down now, not for long. And then this first proper structured session of the new 2-month block where I'm building strength and intensity in a bag. Yes. This whole documenting the video aspect of training for a goal is actually really motivating and puts a whole different dynamic on training. That's the way it feels to me anyway, even though I know there's not that many people watching, but it's just good. And I think as you get into the darker depths of winter, it'll be really important, to push through the training when it's cold, dark. I never had a real problem with motivation, so I guess I'm just saying this is even more motivating. This is good. Right, I'll sign off now before I ramble anymore. Lack of oxygen, probably making me, probably maybe waffle, so good to see you, good to have you on board. Drop some comments down, anything you want to say about session, suggestions, or even if you're just saying, hey, love that t-shirt you're wearing. Catch you later.